Hello, hello. My name is Charles. I'm a big fan of gaming in general and a huge fan of Dark and Darker. Ever since I played one of the first early alphas of the game, I kind of fell in love with it. Had the most fun I've had in maybe a decade of gaming. Yeah, I've been having a great time with it. So I wanted to kind of just like give a rundown of the most recent patch, just as a beginning to my first content that I'm going to create, and just kind of getting the hang of putting a video out there and talking on camera. And yeah, so let's start here. As an experiment, the Ruins map can now only be accessed by solo and duo teams. Now, when I heard they were thinking about duos, they initially had said they had no plans for it. As someone who plays this primarily in a duo setting, I'm actually really excited to try this. Uh, Me and my friend, we have high hopes for perhaps the ability to go down to the crypts from the ruins like you used to. That was a lot of fun. I feel like it could be cool. It would allow you to play crypts as a duo, albeit harder, after going down, and then also, obviously ruins. And I think there is a demand, like as they mention, for duos. One of their top requested features, yeah, on the suggestions board, which I'm glad to hear. So yeah, really excited to play that tonight. The weapon damage gap between the different grades has been reduced, and they talk a lot about this too. Like, we've also started our first pass on reducing some of the gear gap between items, because this issue has basically been unaddressed since Alpha Playtest 4. Whereas weapons could previously more than double their damage, going from junk to unique quality, we have compressed the damage range, so most weapons now max out around 60 to 70% damage improvement from the lowest to highest quality. We use the uncommon / rare grade as the pivot point for the rebalance, with a greater emphasis on the low end, so junk, poor, and common items will do more damage, while epic, legendary, and unique items will do less than before. And like, I do think this is a good change. I'm a rogue player, just about exclusively, but I mean, I dabble in other things, but I do feel that part of what makes the gear feel rewarding is that it is such an upgrade. But it did feel, I definitely think a little bit like, yeah, the higher end items, it just becomes a one shot. It becomes very little interaction, perhaps too quickly, perhaps too big of a gap too quickly between some of the gear. So it should be interesting to see. Sounds like a healthy change. This is a company that so far I'm willing to give some benefit of the doubt on changes, ideas for things going forward. It seems they're willing to adjust, having said we don't have any plans for duo. And quite quickly, within 2 weeks, maybe less, they've announced trying it out. They saw the demand. They're willing to listen to the community at least on some level. That's proven. So let's move on. So yeah, we got slight damage reduction to stiletto, short sword, rapier, horseman's axe, falchion, and crossbow. Out of all these, I definitely feel the falchion is, in my experience, the hardest to deal with. It just seems like it's got a lot of reach for what it is. It seems like I don't block much personally. My duo partner does a lot when he's on cleric, and it seems to be a hard weapon to deal with and defend against. Seems. But anyway, we'll see if the damage reduction really, it's a good start. It's a good start. And then we have, on the other hand, an increased as Wayhander, Wizard Staff, Halberd, Felling Axe, and Bardiche, which doesn't sound like a problem to me. Some of the heavier weapons, I guess they were kind of less used. A lot of people were preferring longsword and a lot of the same stuff. And now we got big damage increase, they say, which is a little bit interesting to me, to Viking Sword and Chris Dagger. Viking Sword I haven't used. I don't think even once, perhaps once, when I dabbled in fucking Warlock and died like 5 times in a row. But the Chris Dagger is interesting to me. I didn't love the animations. The Chris Dagger and the Castellan, in my opinion, you can get used to them, and I've learned to like the Castellan. But starting off with a swipe can be annoying, as opposed to the stabs. Chris Dagger and the Castellan both start off with these swipes, from the side, horizontal swipes. Not my favorite. But yeah, the damage increase is interesting because the speed is not bad. So I do wonder how it is. Higher quality lanterns have a lower move speed penalty. So this is a no-brainer. I can't think of a better change they could have made here. I had a conversation about lanterns probably 2-3 weeks ago when I realized that there was no difference besides the cost. So essentially, you would just use the worst lantern if you wanted a lantern, and sell the higher tier ones for the gold. And they were all red gold. They were definitely all red gold for the space in your inventory. But yeah, this gives you a reason to actually use them because the movement speed is big. To me, it's the biggest stat on a rogue. So. And I do tend to, I like to have a setup with a rapier and a lantern. Helps me a lot from mobs. Now this is something I'm not experienced on at all. I have seen the Caltrops ability. I have never taken it myself. Cool time reduced from 24 to 12 seconds. We also have ability slow duration increased from 2 to 3 seconds. And we have the count reduced from 6 to 4. You really can run around, try to pickpocket. You can really be a rat. It's harder to kill, maybe, but you can definitely get away. If your goal is to go down, this could be good. This could be an option. The Ruins' final triple blue portal has been changed to 2 single blue portals. I get that. It's an obvious change for the experiment of solo duo. The triple portal makes sense. A full team is never going to take 3 portals anymore. So 1 blue portal in normal Goblin Cave near the end has been removed. And they talked about teaming up. And they just want to make it so, I guess it's the first small change they want to make to disincentivize teaming up. They do not want teaming to be too much of an issue. And I get it because the gain is fine, but if everybody's doing it, then there is no solo mode. And you want there to be a proper solo mode. You don't want to be outnumbered all the time if you don't team. You don't want it to become the norm to try to team in Goblin Caves. So it's a good thing that they have it in mind. I like a lot of the things that they are prioritizing and talking about and addressing. They're making us aware that they are aware about it. We got 3 issues fixed. I don't have any personal experience with the first 2, but the third I've definitely seen, and me and my common duo partner have crashed. Really, it seems at random, because it's never both of us. It has never been both of us at the same time. Internet is not an issue. It seems like it's something to do with the game, and we're always able to get back in. But I'm glad to see that they're doing it. So yeah, I'm hoping to see those happen less. As an experiment, we've removed the entrance fee for the high roller dungeons. Now this is interesting. I'm interested to see how that works long term. They speak about this in the developer comments. We're also experimenting with removing the entrance fee for the high roller dungeons, since going into these dungeons is already high risk without the added cost. And I do agree. I mean, in the end, 50 gold, 100 gold, it's really about the gear that you bring in that you're risking. Because going in, what it does for me, what the fee does for me, is I feel like it sets a minimum that I have to reach where I'm breaking even on treasure, and generally I will. It's not a great feeling to have to feel like you have to make your money back first, and then anything on top of that is worth it, right? And now, the trading post and high roller features are locked behind a 120-hour time gate for accounts less than 5 days old. This one is good. Again, it probably doesn't feel great for someone who just bought the game and has played it in the past and already knows how to play and wants to just hop right in. just heard that it came out in early access, but for any new players, shouldn't really impact them too much, and I feel that this is just a good approach. Just another good sign, again, that they're aware. They're aware of an issue. They're making us aware that they know about it, and they're taking a not too dramatic, not too drastic approach at steps of fixing it. Overall, I like what I see from this company. Again, we still don't really know with the lawsuit, but what I'd like to hope is that whatever happens, they're able to continue developing, go through with releasing the game in full. I'm hoping that we see Dark and Darker a year, 2 years, 5 years from now, even, in a great place. If you enjoyed this video in any way, feel free to like, subscribe. I'm going to be trying to make more content, all types of games. Dark and Darker is my favorite right now. I'm also playing Baldurs Gate. I plan on getting Mortal Kombat 1 when it comes out. And yeah, just making any content I can have fun creating. And hoping this is the beginning of a long journey. Anyways, thanks for watching. And until next time.